Under the cover of night, a drone's eye view. Imagine this, it's 3 a.m. The city that never sleeps is, well, sleeping. Our drone camera pans over deserted streets, past darkened skyscrapers, but wait, what's that glimmer in the distance? Is it a beacon, a signal? No, it's just the flashing neon sign of a 24-hour donut shop. Disappointing, right? But what if I told you there are secrets hidden in plain sight, even in this sleepy cityscape? Secrets involving vast sums of money, whispered between billionaires and hidden from the prying eyes of the IRS? Tonight we dive deep into the shadowy world of American tax havens. Howdy, partners! Welcome to the Tax Haven Rodeo. Now, y'all might be picturing some exotic island paradise when you hear tax haven. You know, palm trees, pina coladas, shady figures, and Panama hats. But hold your horses, buckaroos. You don't need a passport for this financial adventure. We're talking about good old American soil, where some states offer the same secrecy and tax advantages as those far-flung islands. So saddle up, partners, as we wrangle the truth about these stateside tax havens. Delaware, where corporations go incognito. First stop, Delaware. Land of, well, not much, geographically speaking. But boy, oh boy, does this tiny state pack a punch when it comes to incorporating businesses. You see, Delaware offers something called corporate anonymity, which is basically a fancy way of saying your company's dirty laundry stays hidden from public view. It's like a witness protection program for corporations, and it's totally legal. Need to hide your company's true owners or dodge taxes in your home state? Delaware's got your back, for a small fee, of course. Nevada, your asset's best friend, tax-wise at least. Next up, Nevada. What happens in Vegas might stay in Vegas, but the money you bring here might just disappear. Well, not literally. But with no state income tax, your wealth can multiply faster than a slot machine jackpot. And if you're worried about creditors or lawsuits, fear not. Nevada has some of the strongest asset protection laws in the country. So go ahead, double down on that investment. Your money's safe here in Sin City. Hold your horses, folks, because we're heading to the Wild West. No, not for a showdown at high noon, but for a showdown with the tax man. Wyoming is the promised land for something called dynasty trusts. Now, these ain't your grandpappy's trusts. We're talking about sheltering your family's wealth for generations, potentially avoiding estate taxes for decades to come. It's like a financial time machine, propelling your descendants into a future of tax-free bliss. Our final destination, South Dakota, home to majestic mountains, sprawling prairies, and some of the most secretive trust laws in the nation. Here your assets can disappear into a legal black hole, shielded from creditors, lawsuits, and even pesky ex-spouses. They call it the Switzerland of the Plains, and for good reason. South Dakota's trust laws are like a financial fortress, protecting your wealth from the outside world. Section 7. Living large while paying small, the perks of being rich, and tax savvy. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but I'm not a billionaire with a team of lawyers. And you're right. These loopholes are primarily designed for the ultra-wealthy, those who can afford to play this elaborate game of financial hide-and-seek. They use these tax havens to minimize their tax burden, sometimes paying a smaller percentage of their income than the average American. It's a system that seems rigged in favor of the already rich, leaving the rest of us wondering, where's our loophole? Section 8. The price of paradise. When tax havens dry up public funds. But here's the kicker. When the wealthy shield their assets and minimize their taxes, it's not just about them hoarding more money. It has real-world consequences for the rest of us. Less tax revenue means less funding for public services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. It's like a game of financial Jenga, where the wealthy pull out block after block, leaving the rest of us teetering on the brink of collapse. Section 9. The future of financial fortresses. Will the walls come tumbling down? The good news is, people are starting to pay attention. Lawmakers are debating the ethics of these tax havens, and there's growing pressure to close these loopholes. But change won't come easy. These tax havens are deeply entrenched in our system, protected by powerful interests and shrouded in layers of legal complexity. Section 10. The thin line between savvy and shady, know your tax tactics. So what's the takeaway? Well, it's important to remember that there's a big difference between legal tax avoidance and illegal tax evasion. Taking advantage of deductions and credits is one thing. Hiding assets and lying about your income is quite another. The line can be blurry, but it's crucial to stay on the right side of the law. And who knows, maybe someday we'll have a fairer tax system that benefits everyone, not just those who can afford to hide their money in plain sight. Until then, keep your eyes peeled and your wallets close. You never know what financial secrets might be lurking around the corner.